We're right outside of Foggy Bottom Metro Station, and here we have Mr. Weeks.
Yes.
And he's going to tell us his story. So far away.
My name's God Weeks. Grew up in Lang City, New Jersey. Storybook childhood. Attended school through the Atlantic City school system. Celebrated athlete, baseball, football, basketball. Very close to my father. Basically lived on the gas station. My father had me on the gas station at a very young age. Once I got my driver's license, he put me in a cab. He owned a gas station and a cab company. One of the first cab companies in Atlantic City. As you can see, I'm African American. My father had the first house in a very exclusive neighborhood in Atlantic City. Atlantic City, very small town. Went to the beach, worked very hard with my father at the gas station, driving the cab. Okay, upon finishing high school, tried to follow my father's footsteps, attended the same college as my mother and father attended. I must say, back up, growing up, I had numerous good friends. One was Mark Hicks. Me and him was very military. I'm 57 years old, grew up watching combat. Sea Hunt, Batman, Superman. Very military, motivated. Attended summers at St. Emma's Military Academy. My friend's uncle was the dean there. Every summer I went to St. Emma's Military Academy, an Army Academy in Powhatan, Virginia. Now, that being said, since age 8, every summer I was at St. Emma's Military Academy. Spent numerous days at the local armory with the National Guard in Atlantic City. Numerous nights at the firehouse. Friend's father was a fireman. Okay, now let me pick it up from the high school. Once graduated high school, like I said, I was following my father's footsteps. My mother and my father graduated Virginia State College, small black school in Pittsburgh, Virginia. That's where I went. Went to Virginia State, participated in Army ROTC, graduated a 4-year program in 3 years, graduated, came out a business major with a concentration in accounting, graduated summa cum laude, who's who, various other honors, came out 3 years. Upon coming out, I went back to my hometown, Atlantic City. 1978 is when I came out with honors. I go back home to Atlantic City, where a friend of mine that I drove cab with found me a house. Hell of a deal. Bought a house for $30,000. House was worth maybe $100. Put a second mortgage to it. Bought 2 lots. Homeowner worth $250,000 overnight. Okay. My uncle was a commissioner at the city hall there. He gave me a job there as a municipal accountant. 78 was when Atlantic City acquired gambling. I also got a night job at Resorts International, food and beverage shift supervisor. Excuse me, it's very hot. Now, I was working 2 full-time jobs, high-profile jobs in a small town. Accountant for the city of Atlantic City, senior accountant, food and beverage supervisor at Resorts. Okay. 2 full-time jobs. I was off my second job, Resorts. I think it was Wednesdays and Thursdays. Acquired a lot of friends, because I had a lot of money and I had a house. Very few people at my age had that kind of money that I commanded and a homeowner at my age. Started the party. First it was drinking. Every Wednesday and Thursday night we would drive to Philadelphia, clubbing, drinking, womanizing, to say the least. While I was working 2 jobs. Then, approximately in 1983, 5 years after I graduated college, and came back home, I was introduced to cocaine. The beast, as it is, accelerated, took over me. My wealth started dwindling. Cash accounts started dwindling. I was in fear of losing my house. I transferred it over to my parents for safekeeping while I had equity in it. Then the journey of cocaine been. I've been using cocaine since 1983 to almost to date. Right now, I think I've kicked it. You never know with this drug, but during my cocaine use, some periods I was functional, some periods I wasn't functional. But I did get married. In my addiction, I got married and acquired another house. Raised 2 children, put them through college. And believe me, I did it. My wife worked, but I cooked the meals, I raised the kids, and I put them through college. Nobody in my wife's family graduated college. Not even my wife. My wife was a dedicated worker, but her job consumed her. Me and her, she did find a house, a wonderful house in Berlin, New Jersey. To this date, me and my wife is separated. The house is still there, she's in it. $300,000 house. Because of my addiction, me and her mutually chose to be separated. And that's what we are now. But we did raise 2 children, we put them through college and they're on their own. One's a social worker, married a psychiatrist in Pikesville, Maryland. The other one is a networking supervisor for Sprint in Charlotte. Very successful, making more money yearly income than me. Now, get back to me. Separated in my addiction of cocaine, got out of Atlantic City, thoroughly could not use cocaine successfully in Atlantic City. Came to Atlantic City to DC to be with my sister, helped her out, acquired her 2 properties. Then I got a job at DC government. Well, that's it. Let me see. Working for the Department of Public Works, Pamela Graham. I was supervisory accountant. Floor title was accounts payable manager. Only worked there a year and a half. Total corruption, unacceptable to me. Couldn't be around it. I was told by my superiors this is the way DC government do business. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't be around that kind of corruption. Unreal corruption. People using purchase orders and for their own use, and just a waste. No structure, no purpose. All just a paper chase. I don't understand. The best I can put, corruption. I left the job. They paid me for maybe 8 months while I was out of work. Still in my addiction of cocaine. I left that job. I did have a house on Webster Street. Bought a house in my addiction. And now I'm on the street, separated from my job, separated from my wife. Addiction has really slowed down on me. Saving money to get this and that. Have so many suits. In my addiction, my rights was violated ferociously by Atlantic City Police. Other areas, when people see you on cocaine, they don't treat you like a normal citizen. They don't think that you deserve it, or they think that they can walk all over you. Well, whatever they did, if it was unacceptable, I documented it. Now I'm sober. I do have psychiatric problems. I'm a paranoid schizophrenic, major depression, still highly intelligent. I panhandle. Panhandling was supporting my addiction, and it was getting me by. I do get a check, $1,800 a month. Right now, I'm kind of managing myself a little bit better. Totally frustrated with how people treated me in my addiction. I'm filing numerous lawsuits in DC court. Totally divorced from my immediate family, my paternal family. My brothers and sisters just snatched the wealth that I transferred over to my mother. I guess they didn't want me to get it back. In their greed, money didn't mean that much to me. It was a principle. My father worked hard for it. I couldn't be part of that mess, so I've totally divorced myself from my paternal family. Now my married family, I've really divorced myself from them because they're grabbing what they can grab. I don't have time. I mean, I can always get. I don't. When I see people grab money that's not theirs, that's stealing. I mean, if it means that much to them, let them have it. Life's too short. I'll get my own again and again and again and again. I will get my own. I will pray for them. Now back to me. My present situation. Still do not handle money well because of my addiction. I panhandle on GW campus. Thoroughly like the people. They help me, I help them. It's a win-win relationship here. Very therapeutic. It relaxes me. I talk just like I met this fella here who's filming me. Good conversations, healthy conversations. Those things I need. The campus people, most of them provide good support for me. I try to give back whatever I can, whatever knowledge I have to help them. I try to give them advice that I think that can help. They're very generous, very kind, and very loving. I'm getting better. The wheels are turning very slow here in DC. With the African Americans, they have the exodus of Europeans gravitating back into DC, trying to move the African Americans out. I'm feeling that pain, trying to get a place. Hard to get a place in Northwest if you're African American. They want to move all the African Americans to the Southeast and then out of DC, period. Trading places, I call it. Now, that's my situation. That's really my life story. Today, noteworthy, yesterday, very upset with the Trayvon Martin hearing. Very disappointed with our African-American president. I know he's a president of all people, but it's not equality here in America. Even in my military scheme of things, I was very upset at the missions. I was very turned off at the reasons why the United States goes to war for oil, to throw democracy onto people, selling democracy as a cure-all. When there's no democracy here in the United States, no true democracy, how can you sell something that you're not practicing in your own country? I don't understand that. It's a fake, it's a mirage, it's a fraud. I'm not saying everybody in the government is a fraud, but the powers to be are fraud. First military science course I took, reason to go to war, to defend your country. You tell me the last time we entered a war to defend our country, it was World War II. Every war since World War II is illegal. Now, thoroughly discussed it, Trayvon Martin, young black African-American teenager, followed by an adult Hispanic, told by police not to follow the boy. This guy Zimmerman followed him and murdered him. Wasn't no self-defense. It may have been a scuffle. The scuffle may be encountered when Zimmerman, trespasses personal space. No excuse for this man not to be locked up immediately. Craziest thing in the world, total crazy. I mean, that whole situation is crazy. And to have an African-American president who was hands-off in it, now to have a criminal trial and the man to get acquitted on murdering a black kid. If he murdered the president, he would have got acquitted. If he murdered a congressman kid, he wouldn't have got acquitted. I believe if he murdered anybody with a different skin color, he wouldn't got acquitted. It's the craziest thing in the world. If it had happened back in the 60s, there'll be race riots, demonstrations, ongoing. Very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. Very disappointed again and again and again. And I'm just going to leave it like that. Right now, to summation, I'm 58 years old. The country is headed in a bad direction. Everything that the Kennedys, Martin Luther King, a host of other leaders back, in the 60s and 70s, things are just going backwards. It's horrible. I mean, the living is not that bad, but it's not the way it used to be. And it seems like the scales is slanted. It's not, the scales are supposed to be equal, but they're not. The scales is tiptoed like what do you call them things? A saw?
A seesaw.
A seesaw. The seesaw has somebody on one end. It's not balanced. The president's first campaign, he could not fulfill. Now in his second term, his inauguration address was about equality, getting the seesaw level. The seesaw is now more perpendicular than it's ever been. Very disappointing for a country who prides itself on so-called democracy. So I'm gonna leave it like that.
And have you met what kinds of interesting people have you met in your time out here?
Other students. I'm very much in tune with the economy, jobs. I try, here at GW seems to be the most popular majors, international affairs. I try to counsel these students try to key in on the culture of the United States. It seems like their focus is all about themselves. Very popular in the United States these days. Back in the 60s, college campus has movements to try to get things done, to increase the quality of life that you're going into. I don't care how successful you are independently, if as a whole, if the world you're going into is not desirable, you might have personal satisfaction, but you're not going to have cultural satisfaction, because it's like living in a war zone. What good is $1 million if you're in a foxhole? It's no good. I cannot buy pizza in a foxhole. There's no 7-Elevens in the foxhole. You know what I mean? I got rations, and now I got cash to carry. I can't spend it. I can't enjoy it. very, very, very. It's a disease. It's a disease.
And so do you have any place to stay currently? Or?
Sir, I live on the bench that we're standing on. I'm living wherever I lie my head. No, I have no place. I do have money. Again, I told you, the places that seem to be available for African Americans is Southeast. All of my businesses is in Northwest. I think my income is more than these Spanish people, but yet I don't get the same opportunities of living wise as the Spanish people get. I don't understand it, but maybe I do. You know what I mean? It's back to the seesaw when it comes to African Americans and Europeans. Now the Spanish people seems to have more space on the sword than the African Americans. I don't understand it. I don't understand that, but that's the way it is. And believe me, that's the way it is. And it's very frustrating for me being a product of the 60s. 58 years old, seeing the United States going backwards. Yes. Again, let me say, I don't know. Discrimination is increasing. Things are just not getting better for African Americans with African American president. I have nothing against other cultures. I think the United States is inundated, overpopulated, various cultures. They should rename it United Nations, not United States. United Nations. Yes.
And I saw you helping out a GW student.
Yes.
With his visa issues. Do you
Yes.
do you help people out like that on a regular
Whatever
basis?
yes, whatever I can do. Like most people with international affairs, I try to tell them to emphasize the foreign languages. Arabic, even though it's hard, powerful language abroad politically, dealing with the Muslim faction, the Middle East. I think we got enough problems here, but if you choose that path, you must make yourself marketable. Times are hard. You know what I mean? And you know, and I provide career counseling, financial counseling, spiritual counseling, motivation. You know what I mean? I've been through this college experience. I've been through the life experience. I didn't have a bad journey. I didn't need the cocaine, but it's always something. You know what I mean? Challenges bring challenges. I try to counsel people on how to handle it to the best of my ability.
And you're currently off cocaine, correct?
No, I'm not. You're never off cocaine. You may not be actively using, but the monkey is always around, and one dip in it could drown you. Yes, I will be an addict for the rest of my life. I gotta accept that, deal with it, try to manage it the best I can. That's all I can do.
And is there anything you want people to take from your story?
Well, if it applies, maybe my experience, maybe whatever you can get from it, I hope you get. What, if you see something that I mean, you got to deal with it on case by case basis. I can only tell my story. If my story helps you, it helps you. You know what I mean? If not, it's not. Everybody's story is different.
That's true. And I just want to clarify, I got your permission to do this, correct?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes, of course. You have we can waive the copyright, the patents, and all the all the paper chase that look, this guy's winning. This guy's from Manhattan, now he's got Wake Forest.
That's where I went to college.
My man, yes.
And well, Mr. Weeks, it was great talking to you. I definitely would love to see you. We'll
Yeah,
see you some
yeah.
more.
Yeah, maybe we can have some follow-ups. Maybe whatever you want to do with this thing. If another person needs some clarification on things, I'm available
Okay.
at no charge. At no charge.
And once again, we're
Yes.
right outside the Foggy Bottom
Yes,
Metro
yes,
Station.
Yes, on our street between 22nd and 23rd. Across the street from a very well-known restaurant, Circa at Foggy Bottom.
All right. It was great talking to you, Mr. Weeks.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
Yes, sir.